So, I started Etsy in October of 2017. And I started it because I knew I needed money for Christmas and for the holidays, and I had to do something. So I thought, I'm a creative person. Let me see what I can do on Etsy. Before I even opened my shop at all, I did all kinds of research on what I needed to do, what worked, what didn't work, how to make sales, how to make money. Everything I could. I watched videos, read about it, all of that. So today I've compiled all of those tips for you, and I've wrote them down here on this notepad. That way you can hear it from someone who's been through it, and hopefully it'll help you grow your shop if that's what you're wanting to do. So before we get started, also know too that my shop right now, I deactivated it. And I'll tell you why at the end of this video if you want to know about that, but I certainly don't want to discourage anybody who's just starting out not to sell on Etsy, because it's a really, really great platform for any creative person to sell items on. And you can make a ton of money from doing it. So here are my 5 tips if you're just starting out in an Etsy shop. Tip number 1, think about your profit. Now, I know this is not all about money here. You're making something you love, hopefully, and hopefully you love making it. But you do need to think about exactly how much profit you're going to make off of each item. And also think about how much time it's going to take to make that item. So, let's say, for instance, you knit mittens. And with all the supplies, those mittens cost you $3 to make. Okay, so it costs you $3 to make, and you're going to sell them for $20. That's a big profit right there, I'd say. But you got to factor in the time it's going to take for you to knit those mittens. So what if it takes you 5 hours? So at that point, you got to think about how much you're getting paid hourly to make this item. Is it worth it to you to make that? 5 hours, do the math there, it's less than minimum wage. If it's something you love, then by all means go for it and just knit or whatever you do while you're watching TV. And sometimes that's what I would do, like when I made my items. It was just something nice to do while I kind of watched TV or something like that. It didn't feel like work at all, especially at first. So yeah, just think about that and how much you're actually making an hour, because you have to think about that. Like, if you're making less than minimum wage, would it be easier for you to just get a second job in your spare time, or, whatever the case may be. So think about that before you even get started. Tip number 2. Okay, so you factored in the profit you're going to make. You're cool with that. You're ready to, you've made some items and you want to start selling them. You have to have excellent photos of these items or they're not going to do really well. You can take them on an iPhone. That's what I started out with. Actually, I think almost there's 2 pictures on my Etsy that are not taken with an iPhone. So super easy to do. And there's on there's space where you can take lots of pictures. That's what I would do. I would take them with maybe an all white background. I have some white fake fur. Actually, this pillow right here, I would lay it down and I would put some items on it, and it looked really cool. Just something with bright light, plain white background where you can really see it, show it up close. If it's like a hat or something, show somebody wearing it, just so people can see exactly what it is. Because you have to make that picture interesting enough where people is going to click on it. If they never click on your shop, then you will never make a sale. So you have to have really, really great photos. Also, speaking along that line, you have to have really great tags and a description and keywords and all of that SEO stuff too. There's several videos on exactly how to do that. But as long as your photo is great, your tags and your description is good, then you should be alright. You can put just put several different search terms that people would search for your item. For instance, you might put pink scarf / pink fuzzy scarf / gift for her / gift for a friend, and all of that can be the title, and that way if anybody's searching any of those terms, they'll know. Well, it'll pull up when they search that. Tip number 3. Now, this is what I did before I ever made a sale. So I opened my shop. I had several items in there, and I was not getting any sales for the first 2 weeks. I didn't get a single one, and I was not really even expecting to get a sale. Like, I didn't know what to expect when I started out. But then I got to thinking, okay, if I was a shopper and I came across this shop that had 0 sales and 0 reviews, would I really want to buy anything from this shop? Probably not. I probably would not want to buy anything because, like, I don't know, it just seems like, I don't know. So what I did that really, like, started getting me sales was this. I left a review on my own page. Now, I know that seems like a little bit shady in a way, but I truly believed in my product 100%. I knew if people got it, they would absolutely love it. So it was a very honest review. If you have a shop and you have an item and you're like, I don't know if this is going to work or not, I mean, it's okay, then don't do this because that's dishonest. But if you know in your heart that it's going to work and it's great, get either a friend to go to your shop, purchase an item, and leave a review, or you just do it yourself. You'll have to make an account, and it's a lot of work. And purchase it and leave a review. 1 review. I feel like it's okay if you do that like once, but if you keep on doing it, that's just that's too much. But one time, do that, and I'm telling you, I did that the second week, and within a couple of days, I had my first sale. And then they left a review, and then it kept going, and before I knew it, it was like cha-ching, 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 like all the time. My shop blew up and went nuts, and I ended up making way more money than I needed for Christmas shopping or anything, because it was just like constant, and I never got one single bad review because I knew that my products were really good. So, number 4, this is also really important, packaging. So when you sell on Etsy, you are expected to blow the customer away with your packaging. It should be like Christmas time when they open up your package. Or I want it to feel like a gift that I've given them. I included a handwritten note sometimes. I had a little free item that I would stick in there that was really cute that I also made. I included like this holographic like tissue paper that I would put in there. I colored my boxes. I can actually do a video on packaging the way I did it. It was cheap and it looked so good. I got so many good reviews from it. If you want to see that, just leave a comment and I'll try to do that for you. But yeah, it was really, really nicely packaged. So you have to think about that. On like eBay or something like that, if you're selling stuff, it doesn't really matter. But on Etsy, you have to go above and beyond because that's what the buyer expects. Tip number 5, and this is probably the most important tip I can give you. And it's something I really thought about, and I think it's contributed to my success on Etsy more than anything. And that is to think about who your buyer is. A lot of Etsy is kind of saturated. That doesn't mean that you can't do, what you want to do. Jewelry is really saturated, and I had a few rings I had made in my shop and they ended up selling okay. But if you really want to just knock it out of the park, you need to think about an item that is kind of specific. When I started Etsy, I looked at different like small shops, and and I looked and tried to notice what sold best for them. And I also looked at really successful shops and looked at what they were selling and how they were doing it. So there's a really popular shop that sells like these wooden phone stands, and I was like, huh, that's like a really cool idea, like, but I would never think to do that. But I think the reason why is, think about it, who shops on Etsy the most? Women. So a lot of women are looking for gifts for their boyfriends, dads, brothers. So I thought I can make something geared toward men that women would buy, which is what I did. So a lot of men did buy from me as well, but I think a lot of my my best selling item was like ended up being Christmas gifts from girlfriends to their boyfriend, and I kind of targeted it that way. In my tags I would put like manly gift, you know, something like that. And that item that was aimed at men, I sold so many I couldn't even keep up. Like, I couldn't make them quick enough to get them out because it just blew up. But there, you don't have to do it just like that. You can think of another item that people may be looking for that just isn't really out there as much, and go with that. So anyway, those are my 5 tips. If you have any questions about Etsy at all, please just message me. You can DM me on Instagram if you want. Whatever you want to do, like, I'll help you any way that I can. I believe we live in an abundant universe, and there's room for us all to succeed and do good. So yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. Here's the reason why I deactivated my shop. So I really do love Etsy, and from time to time I'll open it back up. I couldn't really keep up with the sales coming in. There was a slow period, like in the summer. I would take it off of vacation mode, and I would sell a few things here and there. It wasn't that busy, I could handle it. But around the holidays, if I had my Etsy shop open, it would just be constant. So it got to the point where I was working all the time. Like, I would stay up to 3 in the morning trying to get orders out, and it was just too much for me to handle. And like, also too, it was something I had to do myself. I couldn't tell anybody like what to do as far as like making the stuff, because yeah, I had to just do it, and it just became way too much. I felt like I couldn't even really relax at home because that's all I was thinking about, like getting orders out. And not to mention, people would order things and like they would order bulk. So I would have like 20 of one item go out, or 3 of one item, and it just, I didn't think about how long it would take me to make them. So I was just spending hours upon hours upon hours making this stuff. And I'm so thankful for it. It really helped me out, especially during the holidays. But it kind of burned me out of doing something that I used to do for just a hobby. You know, it became like a job, and I didn't enjoy it as much. So that's not to discourage you from opening your shop. I'm just being honest and telling you how I feel about it. But I might open up my shop again. It's still there, it's just on vacation mode. So, you know, if ever I need a little extra cash or anything like that, I'll open it back up and it'll be just fine. But for now, I have to shut my doors. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to message me. Alright, well, thank y'all for watching, and until next time, see you later.